Guru Shri Juta Parikamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagujatam Sagaraganatam Vitam Tang Sujivam Advaitam Savadutam Vaijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namaste Apta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sute Dev Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Turubhyascha Vipasni Devcha Charanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Thank you for coming. Sometimes we think about who we are or what we are. We ask the question, why are we here? What's the purpose? Is there any meaning to life? What is life? Why is it here? Life is different than matter. Matter has no life. But things that are conscious, they have life. And all the species, the human species, animal species, bird species, fish, insects, they all have life. They all have something in common, that's consciousness. They're all conscious of who they are or what they are. Not necessarily in philosophical terms, but even a little mouse, he knows what he is. He knows what he's supposed to do. The mosquito knows I have to bite some skin, get some blood, his food. He knows that. How do they know this? Well, what is the thing that's giving them the ability to know? Whereas a stone may be painted like a mouse. It won't run, won't act like a mouse. So we need to know this. Otherwise, life doesn't mean anything. There's no purpose to it. If someone says, life is just meant to have a good time, to be happy. If that's what life is for, why is there so many miseries? Every time summer comes around, we have miseries. We have tornadoes, hot spells. In the rainy season, we get floods. So we get accidents, we get diseases. It doesn't seem like it's meant just for being happy. It seems like there's an ample amount of unhappiness that comes along with life. And how is it working? Everyone's trying to get happiness. But not everyone's getting happiness. In fact, sometimes it's so bewildering. You see a person that seems to be a nice person, always trying to do helpful things, then they suffer. And no one can figure it out. There was, some time ago, I was living in England, UK, for a while, and there was a cricket player. He was the number one cricket player in the country. Young man, good looking, handsome, kind-hearted, great athlete, and he died. And the whole country was thrown into, oh, sad and mad. Why? So everyone was giving different opinions. It was the big talk of the country for some days. And one interviewer, he interviewed the coach of the team, cricket team. And the coach said, he died because of his karma. He did something in his previous life, and now he was reaping the results for his activities. That's his karma. He was hated. That coach became the most hated person because they thought that he was coming up with something that made it seemed completely illogical to them. He's done only good things in his life, apparently, and still he got such a harsh penalty, his death. But the coach was right. The coach knew what he was talking about. Because coach knew that every living being lives forever. A living being, he may die or supposedly die, leave his body, but he'll come back again in a different body. That's for sure. For one who's died, death is certain. One who's died, birth is certain. One who's dead, one who's born, death is certain. So everyone is going to live forever according to Bhagavad Gita. We accept Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna, and Krishna is accepted by all the greatest thinkers in the world. Atita Devara Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Vishve Ahustram Rishaya Sarve Krishna Vyasa Devara Asita Narada. All these great personalities, they declare that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Even in recent times, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shankaracharya, they all accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. And then Krishna declares it in Bhagavad Gita. So there's no one equal to or greater than me. There's no one superior to me. I'm the supreme person. He says it. And then he proves it. It's one thing to say something. You can say anything. But can you prove it? And someone will ask, well, what did Krishna do to prove that he was God? What's the difference between God the living entities. Living entities also, we can say they're eternal. This cricket player, he's also eternal. He may not be in that body now. That body is gone that he had before. But he's in a different body. He doesn't die, and Krishna doesn't die. But the difference is that one Krishna, he's maintaining all the other living entities. He's giving them all their food, all their oxygen to breathe, their water to drink. He's giving them everything. And not only is he not die like all the other living entities, but he knows everything, past, present, and future. He's the origin of everything. He's the ultimate end of knowledge. If someone knows Krishna, yasmin dayate sarvam evatam bhavatiba. If he knows Krishna, he knows everything. Because Krishna is everything. How can he be everything and at the same time just be Krishna? It's a difficult question to answer. Because if he's Krishna, then he can't be everything else at the same time. And if he's something else, how can he be Krishna? How can he be everything? How can he be everything? That would mean he has to be everywhere at the same time. That's correct. Krishna is present everywhere at the same time. And he explains that although he's everywhere present in his feature that is not perceivable. In other words, we can't actually perceive it, his being everywhere. But he is everywhere. And at the same time, he's not there. This is the great mystery of Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains it in a very simple way. That the Lord is simultaneously, inconceivably, achintya bheda tattva, he's one and different from everything. Not just every one, because we know living entities are parts of God. They're children of God. Who's the father of all the living entities? Krishna. So if he's the father, what about all the other elements? The water, the stone. He's also the father. That energy is coming from him. He's also the source of all the energy. All the planets, all the space. We generally think that space must be the ultimate. When people try to understand how the universe or how the cosmos is existing, they think that the greatest thing must be the space because it's so vast. It's bigger than anything. But actually, Krishna is greater than everything. Someone may say, but Krishna's not very big, he's only middle size. Still, although he has that form cannot be restricted. We can't measure that form. Mother Yashoda tried to measure the form of her son Krishna because some of the coward boys, including Balaram, were complaining on the show that Krishna has been eating dirt. No mother likes to hear that. No mother likes to hear that their child is eating dirt. So she immediately, what are you doing? You're eating dirt? He said, no. They're telling lies. What about Balaram? He got angry with me. So she said, all right, open your mouth. I'm going to take a look. See if it. Look. He opened his mouth. She looked inside. She saw all the universes inside the mouth of her child. The mouth is only about this big. How could he have so many universes in there? You can't measure Krishna. She had another experience. She wanted to bind him to a grinding stone because he had been naughty again. He has a tendency to be naughty sometimes. So she wanted to tie him up. It's like you tie up a horse or a dog. So she got some rope. And they had a lot of rope in their house because they maintained 900,000 cows. A lot of rope required to keep them. So she got some rope, a good ample supply. She caught Krishna. That was a difficult task because she was a little bigger woman and he was a small child. So she thought she could catch him, but he was very difficult. Finally, she caught him. And then she was binding him. And it came up 3 or 2 inches too short. Couldn't tie it. So she got more rope. She had many servants also. She asked the servants to bring more rope. She was tying all of them together. She's a Vaishya woman. She knows how to take care of cows. Every time she tied it, it was still too short by 2 inches. You can't measure Krishna's body. Krishna's form is not measurable. It's immeasurable. You can't measure anything about Krishna. Krishna is inconceivable. We can't even measure him with our best intelligence. We think, best philosophers, they think they'll figure out what God is. They'll try to understand God, or they'll try to understand Krishna, how to measure him, how to. Like Pondraka, king of Pondra, great warrior, very powerful. He didn't like Krishna. He wanted to be the supreme. So he thought with his intelligence, if I can put 4 arms, I only have 2 arms. I can put 2 more arms, fit them on this body, and I can get a chakra, and if I can get some weapons, then I'll be able to defeat Krishna because I'm very strong and very powerful. And he challenged Krishna. He even used Krishna's words from Bhagavad Gita. He said, I've come here as the Supreme Personality of Godhead to relieve the world of all the burdens. And he said that right to Krishna. But Krishna laughed. And they had a fight, and Pondraka was defeated. So we can't. Indra thought he would defeat Krishna. Family members in village, He had his thunderbolt weapon. He thought, I'll defeat him that way. He was unsuccessful. Brahma's the most intelligent person in the universe. He thought he had so much mystic power. He thought that he could defeat Krishna with his mystic power. He stole all the cowherd boys, friends of Krishna, and the cows. And he put them in a kind of a slumber, put them to sleep in a cave. And then he thought, I'll go back and see what fun I've created. We'll see if this boy can do anything. He had heard he was God, but he didn't think it was possible for this boy to be God. So he tested him out. And all the cows and calves were there again, where he left them. And he couldn't understand how that was possible, because his mystic power is tremendous. Prapti City, there's different types of cities, many different perfections that one can get. He can become smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest. He can acquire everything. He can put people under hypnotism, create planets, expand his body into many forms. So Brahma had all these powers. He wasn't worried about some little boy. Anyway, turned out that Brahma became bewildered, and he went back and tried to see if the cowherd boys that he stole were still there. They were still there. And he went back again to see if the first cowherd boys were still there. They were there, but then they changed, and they changed into forms of Narayan, four-handed Narayan. And he's the son of Narayan. That must have been quite bewildering for him. All the cowherd boys turned into Narayan. So he was completely bewildered. And he had to apologize to Krishna. Indra had to apologize to Krishna. Shiva tried to fight with Krishna and defeat him with his power. Unsuccessful. So that's Krishna. He's unique. And he's not sectarian. You shouldn't think that Krishna is just for certain people. Krishna is for everyone. And he's God for everyone. Now, someone may say, well, how is it that you believe this? I wasn't born into this. I wasn't taught this from my birth. But when you see Bhagavad Gita, you read Bhagavad Gita from the right person, from one who knows the science, then if you have the good fortune to have a little faith, you can put your faith in the words of Vyasadeva, in the words of Krishna, in the words of Arjuna. Then it all makes perfect sense. Someone says, well, that's not knowledge, that's just faith. But it is knowledge, because it's true. Krishna he appeared before anyone. He came even before the demigods. Amadir. He's the source of the demigods. And Lord Brahma also admits it. Govindam Adi Purusham, Tamaham Vajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. He's the supreme controller. So when you hear the absolute truth spoken by persons who are pure, and if you have the proper attitude, you want to understand three things. are required for a disciple. Tadvidhi patina pariprashnena seva. Upadekshanta te jnanam jnaninastatvadosham. So pranipat means pay your base, surrender. You have to become, to learn this knowledge, you have to accept that what he's saying is true. Then, the next step for the disciple is pariprashnena. Pariprashnena means asking questions. You inquire, you listen, you try to understand. Try to use your best ability to understand as attentively as possible. And don't doubt. And then sevaya. Seva means service. These three things. He's humble. He's inquiring submissively, not challenging. And he's offering service. He offers himself to do service to the Lord forever. He knows, by Krishna's grace, he knows, and the Guru's grace, he knows that if I promise to serve Krishna forever, if I make that decision, I'll not be a loser. Because I'll never be defeated. Krishna says he'll always give protection to his devotees. And who else could say such things, that he's the most powerful and he knows everything? If someone says that, we know that they're just saying something untrue. They can't prove it. But Krishna proved it. We have all the Vedas as proof. The Puranas are there, 18 main Puranas, many other Puranas. We have 108 Upanishads. We have Mahabharata, 100,000 verses. All about Krishna. There's other topics too, but Krishna is the center of all these scriptures. And they're not just spoken by anyone, not just written by anyone. The greatest authorities the world has ever known, the most pious persons, have stated these things. And all the great sages have accepted it. And even if you don't believe just on faith, one can try for himself. For example, he can try chanting. Krishna says, you should always think of me, become my devotee. Worship me, offer your homage unto me. I promise you this, because you're my very dear friend. If one tries it out, experiments, tries the chanting, tries worshiping Krishna, bowing down before Krishna, of course it takes some humility. And we may not have such humility. But in the association of devotees, it becomes easier. Because the devotees, they have the knowledge and the humility. And we can get it from them. We can share from them. So, we understand our position is we're eternal, and our nature is service. We're eternal servants. As Bob Dylan said, you're going to have to serve somebody. It might be the devil, it might be the Lord, but you have to serve somebody. Everyone's serving someone else. Dog serving his master. Master is serving his boss. Boss is serving the president. President is serving the army. Everyone's serving someone. But Krishna, he's the master. He doesn't serve anyone. No one is superior to him. So this is a wonderful thing to understand. If you have this knowledge, your life will be perfect. Your life will be perfect because you won't engage in activities that are displeasing to Krishna. If you know that Krishna is the greatest and you're his servant, Krishna then you'll just do things that he wants you to do. And then you'll be happy. And no one will be able to make you unhappy. Prahlad Maharaj had one of the worst fathers I think you could possibly have. Hiranyakashipu. Couldn't get much worse than that. He tried to kill his son in so many ways. But Prahlad was not harmed. He was always happy because he was protected by Krishna. So we're eternally servants of Krishna. That's our position. If we honor the food that Krishna has saved for us, he honors the devotees offer their food, they prepare their food for Krishna. Krishna accepts it and then he gives it back to the devotees. So devotees can always have prasadam. They can always chant and dance. Even if someone tries to restrict us from chanting and dancing, we still can go on chanting and dancing. You can chant in your mind if you don't have any other facilities. You can chant in your mind. And Krishna's there. He hears. Any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. I was wondering, you mentioned devotee association as a way to help with humility. Is there some other things one could do myself could do to work on humility?
Humility? To work on humility. Well, yes. The more one associates with Krishna, the more humble he becomes. Because Krishna is so humbling. Everything he does is just so incredible. Just imagine Indra was sending down torrents of rain, pillars of ice and water. And Krishna, as a child, picked up Govardhan Hill, held it like an umbrella 7 days. No one else could do that. That's humbling. And, well, in the Bhagavad it says that those coward boys who were playing with Krishna, they were wrestling with him, and they were even stepping on his shoulders. So it didn't seem like they were very humble. But Puna Punya Punja, Krita Punda Punja, they performed so many pious activities to be able to have that association with Krishna. So they can become more humble. Because it's true, someone who doesn't have any faith, he can become less humble. He'll just become more and more envious. But if someone has someone has faith, little faith is required. Enough faith for example, to hear Bhagavad Gita, hear Krishna's words. If you hear Krishna's words, you have to become humble because they're so great. Have you ever read a book by anyone who could explain things better than Bhagavad Gita? Read Bhagavad Gita, and you can't help but be amazed at who wrote this. Most intelligent person, most merciful. Even when Krishna kills the demons, they don't die. In fact, most of them get to become devotees. Krishna is so merciful that he, after killing the demons, he gives them benediction so they can go and live in Vaikuntha with him. Kamsa and his 8 brothers were always trying to kill Krishna. But they couldn't kill Krishna. But they became purified because they were always thinking of the 4-handed Vishnu. They were thinking of Vishnu in his 4 features. Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And Kamsa had only seen 2. When he was on the planet, he only got to see 2 of the 4. He got to see Krishna, Vasudeva. And he got to see Balaram, Sankarshan. He still wanted to see Pradyumna and Aniruddha. He came back. It's described in Garga Samhita. I think you heard of this book. Garga Samhita. It has a whole description how Kamsa came back with his brothers, and they wanted to see Krishna in his 4 features. But this time, Aniruddha and Pradyumna had appeared, and they were on the earth also. So Kamsa became a great devotee. He was bowing down before Krishna he was apologizing to everyone that he had caused trouble to. So Krishna is such a great supreme person that even when he kills someone, he gives them wonderful life. And that makes us humble. Because what would we do? If someone tried to injure us in so many ways and we had the power, we'd probably try to chastise them. It's like a traveling roadshow, drama party group. They go on the road, and wherever they go, they set up their stage and they have all their costumes, and they act out their parts. And some of them are killed, some of them are saved, some of them. But then no one dies. They all get up and they go to the next place with Krishna and his associates. Isn't that nice? Even the demons, even though they're so unkind, what Kamsa did, atrocious, killed all the babies that were born, horrible. But still he got such a good. Putana, she put poison on her breast, tried to kill a little baby, just newly born baby, innocent baby. So he sucked out the poison from her breast, and she died because when he sucked out the milk, he also sucked out the poison, and he was so powerful that she couldn't stand it. But then she got the benediction to become Krishna's nurse or mother, like mother in Goloka. Such a nice Krishna. Nice child. He was so merciful to everyone, even the most demoniac. So there's just no end to his glories. Can you think of any pastime where you felt a little humility more after hearing it? Well, if you can't think of any now, go on reading, go on hearing, and as you hear, Ramachandra. Ramachandra is also Krishna. And if you consider how kind he was, or how powerful he was, or how beautiful, or whatever whatever you think is great. I'm just like a lot of people in town now that think certain persons who can kick balls through net. Certain persons think, a lot of them think, that is a great thing. And the one who can kick the most balls through there, he's great. Oh, Krishna is kicking those ass demons, Casey demons. He kicked the wrestlers, Mushtika, and the others, kicked them. There's many others he kicked, or hit them with the other parts of his body. So if you like that kind of adventure, someone who really can show his bodily strength and speed and agility, you'll certainly be satisfied with Krishna's performance. So that's why Prabhupada gave us Krishna book and said, distribute it to everyone. Because you'll find something in Krishna you like. Sometimes some people don't like Krishna because they think he's always getting in fights. But Krishna has many pastimes that are very gentle and not fighting. He only fights if they start first. He doesn't ever fight with somebody who's not aware or not competent. He lets the others strike first. Any other? Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.